Hi, I'm David Grimm. I'm one of Dr. Menze's PhD students, and I'm going to give you a quick tour of our lab today. I'll be highlighting some of the instruments that we have and tell you a little bit about what we use them for. And so let's go check it out. All right, here we are at the lab. So this is our main lab space, and up first here at this bench we have a SpectraMax i3X microplate reader. We most commonly use this to measure absorbance, fluorescence, and luminescence to look at things like enzyme activity, protein quantitation, and nucleic acid quantitation. And over here at the next bench, we have a coulometric Karl Fischer titrator. One of the projects in our lab is related to preserving cells in the dry state, and we can use this to measure water content of our dried samples. And right next door here, we have a thermal cycler, and we can use this for things like PCR and subcloning for experiments that might require some genetic engineering. And on the other side of this bench, we have two oxygraphs. So these instruments measure the partial pressure of oxygen inside these chambers here. We've got one that is quite mad and the other is kind of not sure about its existence. But what we can do with this is measure oxygen flux. And we can use it for a variety of applications, like examining the complexes of the mitochondrial respiratory chain. And in the back here, we have two thermal activity monitors, or TAMs. These are microcalorimeters that measure the heat flow in a given sample. Moving on to the next room, this is our cell culture room, and we are currently maintaining mammalian and insect cell lines, and that is our sterile hood there. And last but not least, over in this lab space, we've got a couple things to look at. And up first, we have our freeze dryer. So we use this to freeze dry our samples here. And right now we have some blood that is currently being freeze dried. And on this lab bench, we have microfluidic devices that our collaborators in the bioengineering department designed. And we use these for sonoporation, which is the bursting of gas-filled microbubbles that create pores in cellular membranes. And that way we can load compounds that would otherwise be impermeant to membranes. And the last piece of equipment I'll point out is the blood oxygen binding system, or BOBS for short. And this instrument is used for examining oxygen binding in hemoglobin as well as other pigments. All right, that about does it for the tour. I encourage you to check out the rest of our website and see what projects we're working on. And if you want to learn anything else about what we do in the Menze Lab, feel free to send us an email. Well, that's all I got. See you later.